cut. Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's class. Today we'll be continuing on our ethics, but focusing on the textbook, like I said yesterday. We're going to move very quickly, and I'm going to try my best to focus on relevant information aspects of the textbook. So I have the summary of the textbook with me, such that it's not going to be a voluminous big textbook. So I'm hoping that we could cover almost everything in this text tonight. So without much preambles or side talks, we'll go right into it. Now, as insurance advisors, we have to deal with different situations, in the lives of families and individuals that we help as advisors. And that's why discuss ethics or legal frameworks that governs life insurance is very important for us um, to have an understanding of basic legal frameworks of how it affects individuals and stuff like that. See, an insurance agent needs to be familiar with all these legal aspects of insurance, and the insurance law of Canada have three primary sources. This may not come out in the exams, but just for your knowledge, we have the Canadian constitutions, the common law, and of course, the legislation, okay, and the regulations. So I'm not going to go into details of Canadian constitution, blah, blah, blah. I haven't seen any question relating to that area. So that's why I'm not going to digging deeper in that. But now moving on to life and accident and sickness insurance in its legal context. You see, the Insurance Act defines an insurance contract, and I'm going to put it in my own words. Insurance contract is a situation whereby the insurance company agrees to indemnify, the insured in the event that the event or the risk insured against happened, right? And in exchange for the insurance company agreeing to take care of that risk, the insured pays premium. Just a simple distance. For instance, if I use Mabel and Kenny as an example, let's say Mabel is the insurance company and Kenny came to Mabel and say, hey, you see, I have this thing and I don't know if it's going to happen, but if it happens, I don't have the ability to take care of these needs if it does happen. And then maybe I say, okay, you know what, don't worry, Kenny. I'm here for you. I'll be your big shoulder that you can lean on. I'm going to promise you that if it happens, I'll be here to take care of it. But in my rewards for this promise is that you'll be paying me premium. So it depends on the terms, and that's why an insurance is a contract that is binding. Okay. All right. So now the way it is put in the text, let me just read a few lines so that we have it from the perspective of the textbook. It says that the Insurance Act defines an insurance contract indemnify another person against loss or liability for loss in respect of a certain risk or peril to which the object of the insurance may be exposed, or to pay a sum of money or other things of value upon the happening of that certain events. Okay, so this one are big grammar, but just simple words is that one person take care of the risk and then the other person be made. So it's a contract, okay, because you can't come back tomorrow. Insurance company cannot come back tomorrow after I agree that, hey, I changed my mind. No, it's a contract, okay, and it's binding. And that's why it's important we are taking this course, ethics, right? So we know all this stuff. All right, so life insurance covers the financial risk or death, and accident and sickness insurance covers health risks such as disability. Now, anytime you hear about disability has to do with income replacement. Okay, know this income replacement, and that's why sometimes they give you questions, they'll ask you, they'll test you the incorrect answer, that when somebody is looking for critical illness, okay, the income or the sources of that person's income is not a factor for that person's underwriting process. Why? Because it's not looking for income replacement. However, if the person is looking for disability insurance, then his income becomes a vital factor for the underwriting or the approval process. All right. Okay. So if you have any question as we continue, feel free to let me know. Now, accident and sickness insurance also covers long-term care needs. It covers critical illness. It covers prescription drugs. It covers accidental death. It also covers accidental dismemberment, okay, whereby somebody, that accidental dismemberment constitutes the loss of some body parts, okay? And who is an insurer? Okay, an insurer is a contract that is created and underwritten by business corporations. Insurance are just basically a corporations that are licensed to carry out business as insurance company. Just a simple layman terms. Okay. Okay, I might need to mute some people. Give me 1 sec. Okay, perfect. All right. So it's just a simple term is that an insurer is a company licensed, a corporation licensed to carry out business as an insurance company. All right. And then we also have agency relationship. So now we are talking about insurance company, agency, agent, independent agent, captive agents, MGAs. You know, we hear about all these terminologies, but what does this terms really stands for? So I just talked about an insurer. I've talked about an insurer is a business corporation or mutual insurance corporation, which are licensed by the government to act as insurance. So those are insurance company right there for you. Then we have agency relationship. For instance, an agency relationship exists when a principal designates authority to an agent. For us, like we are agents and we have an agency relationship with Experior Financial Group. Okay. Now, who is an agent? An agent is an individual or an employee of an insurance company. It could be, and this individual can be independent individual, okay, or freelance in a layman term, so to speak. Then you can see independent agents or you can see captive agents. So for us, okay, you know, with Experior, all of us here and all of us in Experior, we are not captive agents. We are independent agents in the sense that we do things here at our own terms, okay? When you're a captive agent becomes when you are a broker. For example, a broker with TD cannot broker for any other insurance company outside of TD. So he's a broker with RBC and stuff like that. But for us, we are brokers. We can broker with IA, we can broker with La Capitale, we can broker with SSQ. You keep them in as many platforms that we have. We can broker with all of them. Why? Because we are independent. And that's why we are able to help so many people, so many families with the best rates and the best plan out there, because we are not captive agents. Okay. Then we also have managing general agency. The MGA performs many functions. For instance, Experior is an MGA, okay? In a sense that, you know, some of us, we have our corporations, we operate under Experior with our business names and all that. And Experior overlook all of us, just like a big umbrella for all of us to function, you know, on our own terms under it. But at the same time, Experior as an MGA ensure that we are compliant, okay? Experior as an MGA supports and assists us as agents by obtaining contracts with insurers. And that is why we have individual contracts in Experior. You see, I see people coming to us from other MGAs and they ask, oh, why do we have all these different contracts? Because we are independent. We are not locked through the back door to one, wherever. If you understand what I mean, this class is being recorded, so I'm not going to talk on so many things. Okay. And Experior as our MGA. See, I'm using Experior as our MGA now so that it drives home the understanding of what managing general agency does. That way you don't have it in your imagination. It's real, like, right? And also, Experior as an MGA secure contracts with insurers to us as agents. And that's why when you are licensed now, you're going to be contracted with so many companies, right? So an Experior facilitates all that. And also, as an MGA processes and track business submission through an agent. Now, when we have business, when we've written business, we don't just push it or submit it to the insurance company directly. No, we have an NBT, it's called New Business Transmitter Portal, in our back office, whereby we submit that business. As soon as we submit that business, somebody in Experior will check everything we've done to ensure that it complies with the industry standard, the industry rules and regulations, then before sending it, to the insurance company, right? And also an NGA provides sales support for the agents and also the collection and payment of commissions. You see, Experior collect the commissions from the insurance company and then pays us. So those are the functions of MGA. So now you hear me saying Experior, because this is our own MGA. All right. Okay. So now let's talk about agency. You see, insurance agency now we are talking about us as individual. And that is what I love about what we do, because as an individual, I'm an agency, right? Why? Because I'm building a team here. You see, what we do enables us to build an agency. Look at the definition. An agency, right, has the following characteristics. You see, it's either a partnership or a corporation, holds a license from the regulation, and must have at least one licensed insurance agent, okay, for the category for which the insurance agency holds the license. So when we are licensed now, Experior allows you to incorporate your business. You can do it as a sole proprietor, or you can incorporate it as a limited liability company, and then you use it to operate your business. And then train people just like I'm training you, building people, building a team, building and growing your own agency. All right. So now I'm going to move on right now, and we'll move on to different regulatory bodies that regulates the insurance transactions and insurance company in Canada. Insurance regulations and legislation and regulations in Canada is governed by the provinces and territories. Okay. And the name of the applicable regulatory and statutory framework varies from province to province. For instance, in Alberta, we have our own regulatory body as Alberta Insurance Council, which is AIC. They basically have their own. Ontario have theirs as Ontario Insurance Council, but I don't know. I think their own is fiscal or something like that. I was checking it out yesterday, and I saw that they have one acronyms like that. Yes, it varies from one province to the next. Okay, so there are different regulatory legislations and regulatory whatever. It's in this on this page, but I'm not going to go into it with all the dates and stuff like that. Okay, just want to let's concentrate on the meat aspect of it and all that. All right, so moving on, we will be moving on to general legal principles applicable to a life insurance agent. Okay, as a life insurance agent, why each province had its own legislation. Insurance legislation vary is very similar across all provinces, even though each provinces have their own legislations, but they are pretty much similar, apart from Quebec. They like doing their own things differently. Anyways, let's leave Quebec as alone. All right. Okay. So now, in terms of the legal principles that governs insurance arises from common law or statutory law, and this we will be talking about the capacity and status of person. Okay, individual have different capacity. We have natural person and we have unnatural. Is it unnatural? No, natural human beings and corporations. Anyways, I'm going to see how they call corporations because I don't think it's unnatural. They don't refer to corporations or natural. Okay, natural persons, partnerships or legal person. Oh yes, legal person. Yeah, natural person and legal person. Natural person are just you and I, and a legal person is a corporation. Okay, and then if in terms of legal, general legal principles applications, we will also be looking at minors and guidance. How is the right of minors and the right of guidance protected or established, when it comes to life insurance and all that. And then also power of attorney, marriage and common law unions. We all know that when relationship breaks down, you know, a lot of things are not the same again. And you guys remember we've came across these particular questions often again during writing certifications where a man and a woman was divorced and the man was expected to support the wife until the children turns 18. So the wife was worried that, oh, what if the man died? How would the alimony money keep coming? So the recommendation is that the man will have to name the woman as irrevocable beneficiary. In other words, the man cannot wake up tomorrow and say, I changed my mind. Mm-mm. You see? So those are the things that we see because we have no control over how people live their lives, right? And as a broker, as an insurance broker, we come across these people, we meet them, and in one way or the other, we might have to set up policies for them. So it's important we know some of these legal frameworks or rights and all that, so that we don't go and advise people wrongly or say the one that will that will put us in trouble or put somebody in trouble. And also we'll be talking about wills, estate, and succession. And this one we're talking about, the rights of individuals at deaths and all that, and then trust and trustees and bankruptcies. Okay, we'll be looking at each of these individually. Okay, I think I can also scroll my screen here. For some reasons, I'm kind of comfortable reading from my printout here. All right, capacity and status of individuals. Like I mentioned, you see anyone of age who is seeking to enter into a contract, okay, must have a legal capacity. All right, so anyone that is within a legal age that is seeking to enter a contract must have a legal capacity. And what is legal capacity? The legal capacity means ability to provide valid consent. Can this person provide valid consent, and this individual is capable of understanding the terms of the contract? Okay. The following excerpt from wherever, a person who is 18 years. Okay, so for this one, it tells us that a person who is 18 years of age or more is presumed to be capable, okay, of entering into a contract. Now, in some provinces, in BC, I learned that that is from age 19. I think I saw that in the text here somewhere, that to enter into be of, okay, so Ontario, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so the person have to be a valid person that have the capacity to enter into the contract. And the national person, partnership, or legal person or corporations can also enter into a contract. All right, so we move on to minors and guardians. Okay, what is the right of minors and guardians? Minors is defined as a person under the age of majority, and the age of majority varies from one province. Okay, yes, this is where I saw that. The age of majority different from one province or territory to another. It is the age of 18 in Alberta, Manitoba, Ontario, Prince Edward Island, Quebec, and Saskatchewan, and the age of 19 in British Columbia, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, and Labrador, Nova Scotia, Northwest Territory, Nunavut, and the Yukon. Okay, so all that is here. Okay. Okay, there's a line here. Anyways, all these are just for information so that when you see something in exam, so you don't get surprises. And that's why I think it's important that we take our time to go through this text the way we are going through it, okay? Everywhere is so quiet. Are we there? Okay, can you guys unmute yourself and talk back to me? Let me know everyone is there. How are we doing so far?
Yeah, we're here.
How are we doing so far? Temilade, are you there?
I do. I'm here.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
here.
Am I moving? Yeah, okay. Awesome. Am I moving so fast? Am I talking to so fast or we're good?
No, we're good.
Are we
I think
good?
we're good.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
We are good.
Can you say that again, please?
I am
Okay, we are
good.
good. All right. Thank you. I just want to get you guys feedback, okay? Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for that. All right, so we move on to parents of minors age 15 and under have an insurable interest in their children, meaning that they may apply for a policy in their children's name. So parents for children under 15 can apply for their children. Guardians for minors children may also be appointed for the child's parents, okay? All right. So that means that even guardians, okay, can we mute ourselves back, please? Okay, let me do that. Mute. Perfect. Okay. So I think that is pretty much straightforward about what guardians can do, for children, right? And then also courts may also appoint, appoint guardians, okay? And in that case, those guardians that are appointed by the court can also establish an insurance, for the life for the children, for the two main reasons: if an insurance death benefit is payable to the minor, and the minor's guidance may be entitled to accept the payment from the insurance company. All right, so let's move on to power of attorney. Power of attorney is where an individual appointed another individual to act on their behalf. Okay, it states here that adults may voluntarily appoint a legal representative while they are still capable of doing so, to represent them and make decisions on their behalf when they are coming to the end of their life, or in case of becoming incapable to make decisions for themselves. Okay, now there are two power of attorney. There are just general power of attorney, and there is enduring power of attorney. The basic power of attorney is a situation whereby it's more or less like a temporary situation whereby an individual or one person who is appointed by a person called an attorney to deal with the business or property or other person's affairs on their behalf. Perhaps it could be maybe they are sick or they may not be available. For instance, maybe if I might be traveling for a long time, maybe for months, and I have a lot of things going on here in Canada, maybe I'm traveling abroad, I could designate or appoint someone and authorize that person to function on my behalf while I'm away. And then as soon as I get back, I take my authority back. Okay. However, there's what we call enduring power of attorney. Enduring power of attorney is the one, is a legal document, that made by one person, who is the principal, who appoints another person, the attorney or the agent, to make financial and legal decision for the principals. However, an enduring power of attorney will continue even if the principal become mentally incapable of making decisions. So now, like basically normal power of attorney terminates after some time, but enduring power of attorney continue even though the person who is the principal, for instance, if I'm the one that designate my power of attorney, I am the principal, okay, then the person I designate my power to becomes either, okay, so let me, that person becomes either my attorney, um, okay, so that person becomes my attorney. All right. So enduring power of attorney doesn't just end even when the person, that is being represented by the power of attorney becomes incapable of making decisions. However, there is one thing that an attorney cannot do. An attorney cannot change the will or beneficiary of the principal. So this question is guaranteed you are going to see it in the exam, because it will tell you, okay, find the wrong answer. The following are what the attorney or an individual designated with the power of attorney can do, except just know that it cannot designate a beneficiary or change the will. That will be always be the answer. Okay, so let's move on. Let's see, we're running. Okay. Um, let's move on to marriage and common law spouses. The right of common law and married couples, differ significantly upon relationship breaks down. The first time I read this, I was like, wow. See, a lot of things that people need to know, because um married, the right, when relationship breaks down, that's when you start seeing, so many rights that individuals have, or some of the assumptions that we may all have may not hold in certain circumstances. But because we don't know any better, so we assume that certain things are the same, but whereas they are not the same. However, common law partners do not have the right to property division. In case of relationship breaks down, okay, common law partners does not have rights to uh, property divisions. However, married couples or partners or common law partners can acquire the right to seek spousal supports and stuff like that. Okay. Let's see here. I'm trying to move fast and focus on um this thing. In the event of divorce or separation, the value of insurance policy may become subject to division of property. However, insurance proceeds received are treated similarly to inheritance and gifts and may be excluded from division of property. Wow. Anyways, you see, I haven't seen questions relating to uh distribution of assets when it comes to relationship breaks down between couples or husband and wives, uh when testing in this ethics. All the questions are no one, no, the question I've seen around relationship breaks down often revolves around, naming beneficiaries, naming irrevocable or blah, 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 stuffs like that. Okay. So for that reason, I don't think it's worth the time to start reading in details of how they distribute assets or whatnot. Okay. Um, let's look at wills and estates and successions. Okay. Succession law refers to the body of provincial law that deals with a deceased person estate, and the rules governing that what happens to their property after death. So this talks about somebody's property, somebody's uh, estate, and the rules that governs their estate, you see, after they are passed away. Okay, an estate is a collection of property and property rights that a deceased person owns, and the person appointed to be in charge of someone's estate is known as an executor if it's a male, and executrix if it's a female. Okay, an executor the must pay the debts and taxes owing by the deceased. You see, I tell people all the time that even in Canada or North America, dead people pay taxes. So is this the duty of this executor or executrix to pay the taxes that is being owned? You know, because when somebody passes away, there is a final income statement that will have to be prepared, that have to be done. Anyway, I don't know much about that. I'm not an accountant. Okay. And then they say executor must also manage and distribute the remaining assets of that individual. The executor is the one that will execute the will of the deceased. Okay. Again, there's no detailed questions around this, so don't. Still talking about divorce and separation, will and estate association, family properties. Okay. Executor must pay debt. Oh, we talked about this one. All right. Testate and intestate succession. Okay. So, what is testate and intestate? When somebody dies with a will in place, it is said that this person died testate. However, when somebody died and that person doesn't have a will, okay, the term used is that the person died intestate. Okay, all right. Um, we talked about trust and trustees. A trust is established when one party either gives another party trustee or properties or to hold, in trust. You understand? When one party is given an authority to hold something in trust for the other party. All right. Therefore, the benefit of the third party and the beneficiaries. Okay. So now the person that is holding the items in trust is called the trustee. Okay, and then we'll have the beneficiary as well, because there are three parties to a trust relationship. There's a settlor, there's a trustee, and there's a beneficiary. All right. Now, the parties are required to be part of the trust as settlors, the person who created the trust and from whom the asset is will come from. This is too much forever, but just know that bankruptcy insolvent means that a person is unable to meet their financial obligations. The moment someone is unable to meet their financial obligation, it is said that the person is bankrupt or insolvent. Okay. Um, and these obligations could be bills, it could be loans, it could be mortgage. So when person is unable to pay their debt, they may decide, to make a formal declaration of bankruptcy, or they may be legally declared bankrupt. In either case, leads to an appointment of a bankruptcy trustees. So whether they declare themselves bankrupt or they are legally declared bankrupt. Okay, so that automatically leads to an appointment of a trustee that will now come in to gather all the remaining assets and then look at, okay, who are they owing? Let's say this person is owing people total of 1 million, and perhaps what they're able to gather may be just 200,000. So it will now be the trustee's responsibility to determine how will this um, um, the remaining assets or whatever be distributed. Okay. And we normally see a question around this that, okay, Mr. A died and the wife did not realize that the man was owing a lot of people. Now everybody is coming after, whatever. So always the answer for that kind of question is that the wife should declare the man's estate bankrupt. Okay. All right. Legal principles required for validity of a contract. So, okay, let me move further. Legal marriage in common law. We've done that one. Divorce and separations, family, blah, blah, blah. We've done that one. Okay, yeah, that's kind of similar stuff. Testate and intestate, we talked about that. Trust and trustees, we've talked about that. Bankruptcy, we've talked about that. Legal principles required for validity of a contract. Okay. A contract or agreement is established under common law principles and is enforceable when intention to enter into a binding agreement exists for both parties. All right. 1 second. I need to drink water. Okay. Okay. Also, still talking about the legal principles of validity of contract. Uh, 1 second, please. Also, a valid contract can be said to exist, okay, in such a matter of a contract if the matter for the contract is legal. All right. Both parties are of mental capacity. All right. For a contract to be said to exist, both parties must be of a mental capacity, and then the subject of the matter on which the contract is based on has to be legal. And also there should be an agreement for by both parties as well. Okay. All right. So talking about civil fault, a civil fault is an action of omission which causes someone to lose to someone's loss or harm. Oh boy. Okay, so let's move on to um legal principles of required for okay, we've talked about that. Civil faults, we've talked about that, how the situations whereby and actions where or omission that will cause um someone someone's loss or harm. Okay, the loss or harm in a thought is not limited. It could be an economic injury, it could be an emotional injury, it could be a violation of privacy, it could be violation of property, it could also be a violation of constitutional negligence. Okay. However, there are limitation periods. Okay. A limitation period stands for a period or such a time or a frame time during which a court action must be stated. If court action is not stated within this period, the right to sue is permanently lost. Okay. So we're going to see this a lot, limitation period, you know, in the course of this uh, course. Okay. um, the next section. Oh my God, this cough is bugging me. Let me take a water break. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. So next we'll be talking about public insurance and retirement regime. Both federal and provincial level of government have set up programs that contributes to the social safety nets for its citizens. So we'll be looking at the federal programs and the provincial programs that is set up, you know, for as a social um, services for both provincial and federal. Now, what are the federal sponsored or facilitated programs? For the federal sponsored or facilitated program, we'll be looking at the Canada Pension Plan, which is the CPP, and then the Old Age Security, and also the Employment Insurance EI. So many of us are very familiar with this. The CPP is Canada Pension Plan, whereby we all, when you work, or if you're an employer, you take some deductions and then to match your employees or whatever. For me, I know that because we have to run that through the payroll every month, right? For the staff, and then we remit it to CRA, which is put towards this individual's retirement, or those are federal government programs. And there's another one we call the old age the old age securities. So this is intended to help provide a modest level of retirement income, and is funded by the government revenue, you know, especially for people that don't have retirement plan saved and all that. So this program is there to help them. And then I think the next one is employment insurance. Of course, when you are an employee in Canada, you contribute towards your employment insurance. And what that helps you to do is that, for instance, if there is a loss of job, then you can go on EI. That way you can have some money coming in, even though it may not be up to what you're earning as a salary. But again, it goes a long way, right? You know, like last year when the pandemic hit, so many people have to go on AI because a lot of people lost their jobs, right? Right. So those are the federal programs. So if you're asked to find the incorrect answer, they might give you questions like, okay, the following are the federal social programs, except just know that the federal social program is CPP, EI, and OAS, which is old age. Uh, let me, I know it's OA something something. Where is it again? Oh, I can even look at it here. Yes, yes. OAS, old age security. Okay. Security for old people. So old age security. So we have EI, old age securities, and CPP, Canada Pension Plan. Okay. And then which ones are for the provincial government? Let's move on to the one for provincial government. So for the provincial government, we have workers' compensation, uh, which is WCB, right? And then we have universal healthcare, like like in Alberta now, like universal healthcare in the sense that you can. That's why we call it. We have our Alberta health card. It's not every medical visit that we don't even pay for medical visits, right? So you can go to the clinic, go to the hospital, you know, and you don't pay anything for all those visits. Why? Because those are provincial government programs. BC have their own, Ontario have their own, Quebec have their own. Yes, I'm recording this. Okay. Sorry, it's my husband. Okay, so yes, so those are the list. And then moving on, let's see which one: provincial and territorial sponsored facilitated programs. Talk about workers' compensation. We talked about universal healthcare programs, okay? And there are other relevant provisions and territorial legislations for life insurance agents. We can't, yes. So for this one, this is very vital and you need to pay attention because you're going to see this one in the exams. So these are other relevant provisions and territorial legislations for the insurance agents. We talk about Privacy Act. You see, in the course of what we do, we have access to privileged information of people, because we need to take their social insurance number, we need to take their details and all that. And by so doing, we are obligated to protect those informations, okay? And that comes under this Privacy Act. And this Privacy Act is governed by a body called PIPEDA, which is Personal Information Protections and Electronic Document Act. Okay, this is the act that governs that. And the way I would like you guys to remember this is that, you see, when you're talking about information, you're talking about paperwork, you're talking about writing. So just look at paper, PIPEDA, probably. Just know it's paper related something, right? Use that use that idea to remember that information breach or whatever has to do with PEPIDA, okay? Human rights legislation and stuff like that. Okay. And the way you'll be tested in this area is, is there any information compromise? Is this information filed in a file cabinet and there was breaking? So which body is this insurance agent expected to report to? Is insurance, if there's a breaking and the insurance agent feels that there's a privacy breach, then there's need to report that to Pepida, Papada. Okay. All right. That's that. We're moving on to chapter number 2, which is insurance policy provision. Okay. A life insurance contract is formed by two parties. I'm not going to do a lot of then the insured. Okay, so this is just talking about some terminologies. Now, insurance policy is formed by two parties, the insured, right? So who is the insured? The insured is the person whose life is insured. Now, the insured can be the insured and the policyholder at the same time. And sometimes the policyholder might be different from the insured, okay? The policyholder, who is the owner of the life insurance policy, okay? The policyholder is also the insured if in which it may be different than the life insured. The policyholder can be the same as the life insured. For instance, if I set up a life policy for myself or my life, okay, I am the life insured and at the same time, I am the policyholder. However, if I set up a life policy on the life of my husband, okay, in that instance, I'm the policyholder and my husband is the life insured. Okay, makes sense? Get it? Okay. Um, the insurer is the life insurance company. Of course, the insurer is the life insurance company. The policy holder is the legal owner of the life insurance policy. And the policy holder can be an individual or a corporation. 1 second. Let me check this message. Could be from one of us. Oh. You guys give me 1 sec, please. 16516 16516. Yeah. Okay. Okay, 1 second, please. I need to check something real quick. All right, I'm back. Lots of interruption. Okay.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Is there a couples insurance? So what I mean by that is if a couple need insurance, instead of getting two insurance, like each person getting theirs, there
Yes,
a
that
couple insurance,
a kind of joint insurance. Yes,
joint insurance, that to be one insurance, but
it will be one policy.
but it will
Yes,
cover the
you
both
can
of
do joint. Yes, you can do joint life insurance, first to die or last to die. So the
them.
thing is
Okay.
that if it's joint insurance, it doesn't mean that it's going to pay. The payout will just be one payout. If it's first to die, it means when the first spouse dies, then the insurance payout will be made. And if his joint last to die, then even when the first spouse died, nothing will be paid until the second spouse died.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So let's write on. So in this chapter 2, we're talking about parties to individual policies, and we talked about insurer, we talked about insurance company. I've explained what policyholder is. Can you give me daddy, please? I'm telling you, can you take me to daddy? Thank you. The way he's bouncing. Okay, so and I also talked about the policyholder, the fact that the policyholder could be the same as life insured as well. Successor policyholder, I see that here. So yes, a successor policyholder is a situation whereby someone is a policyholder, but he named a successor policyholder. Just like a contingent beneficiary, a successor policyholder is where an individual is named as the owner of the policy in the event that the main owner is deceased or is no more. Okay, for example, if I have a policy, I could say, okay, if anything happens to me, I want this person to be my successor policy holder. That way, that policy, I don't know. Yeah. Let's read what it says here. Successor policy, when the policy holder is not the life insured. Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking if somebody is dead, the insurance will pay now. Yes, when the policy holder is not a life insured, a policy may also have a successor policy holder, sometimes called a contingent policy holder. Okay. So yes, when they, for instance, if somebody set up life insurance, right, for their children, and you don't want that policy to lapse if anything were to happen to you, because if you set up a life insurance for your children, you are the policy holder, the children are the life insured. Okay, so how do you ensure that if anything were to happen to you, that there's somebody that will emerge as the owner of that policy that will keep paying the premium if those children are still young? So that is where naming a successor policyholder or a contingent policyholder comes in. It's the same way
Sorry.
as
So
contingent
if you
beneficiary, of
let
course.
me quickly ask a question there. So if you are
Mm-hmm.
the policyholder and you make your children, you get a life insurance on the life of your children. So who is now the beneficiary?
Mm-hmm.
Is it you?
Then you can name the no the you can name the beneficiary. Okay, you can name the beneficiary to be. That's a very good question. Who will be the beneficiary? Can the children be their
Yeah.
own beneficiary?
There can't be
Okay,
their
so
own
let
beneficiary because it's life insurance, right? You are saying if anything happens to your children,
yeah.
children
Okay,
will
so
not,
the
they can't be the
beneficiary is
beneficiary.
a person or corporation who receives the insurance proceeds
Yeah,
when
after
death
the life
benefit.
insured has
Anyone
been.
can be named as a beneficiary. A preferred beneficiary includes spouse, child, grandchild, parents of a life insured. Okay. The preferred beneficiary is also known as a protected or family class. Okay. So note this preferred beneficiaries. So these ones are protected beneficiaries. Sister Kenya, I'll come to your answer, okay?
Okay.
But I want to point this out first. When you see a preferred beneficiary, there has to be, because they could give you to find the wrong answer. A preferred beneficiary is spouse, child, grandchild, and parents. Spouse, child, grandchild, and parents, not siblings. Sibling is not a preferred beneficiary. It's not a classified as a preferred or privileged beneficiary. Kendrick, no, thank you. Please. Can you come take him, please? So I'm looking here to see if there's way to talk about beneficiaries. Okay, preferred beneficiary, policyholder, we've talked about that one. Beneficiary designations are revocable. Okay.
I think most likely, given what you just said, the policyholder will be the beneficiary. Because if the policyholder takes
Okay, yeah, the
life
policy
insurance,
holder could be the beneficiary or anyone. It
mm,
doesn't have to be the policy holder. It could be a trustee. It could be, a corporation can even be a beneficiaries too,
yeah,
right?
okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now still talking on about the beneficiaries, there's what we call revocable beneficiary and irrevocable beneficiaries. Revocable beneficiary is the situation whereby a beneficiary can be changed at any time. Okay. Um, like we saw a question yesterday in certifications whereby a man, set up a life insurance on his daughter, okay, right? And he named, is it on his daughter? No, he set up a life insurance on himself and named, oh no, he set up a life insurance on the wife and named the daughter as the beneficiary, right? So the man died before his wife, and then the wife married another man and changed the name of the beneficiary from the man's daughter to his new husband, to her new husband. Because in the court of law, the beneficiary, the most recent updates of beneficiary is the one that is acknowledged. So that man's daughter now did not have anything again. However, if that man have made his daughter irrevocable beneficiary, the wife won't have been able to do anything, right?
But
So the difference between revocable,
but what right does the wife have to change the
a beneficiary,
beneficiary?
because
She was
she's the
the she
contingent,
okay.
she became the contingent policy holder.
Oh, and
Because
that's what I
when
wanted
her
to know.
husband died, yeah, the
Okay.
husband named her as as a contingent policy holder. So she became the life insured and the policy owner at the same time upon the death of her husband. And that gave her the right to be able to change the beneficiary.
Hmm.
But however, if the man had made his daughter irrevocable beneficiary, whether he became, whether she became policy owner and the life insured, she would have been able to change it.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, so that's irrevocable beneficiary stands for a beneficiary that cannot be changed without the approval or the consent of the beneficiary. So if I'm the beneficiary and I am named irrevocable beneficiary, so nobody can change me except I approve that, okay, I would like to be changed as the beneficiary. But
Okay.
who
So
won't
what about
agree?
sorry? What about if the beneficiary dies before before the policy holder or even
Abi- oh,
the life insured?
okay, so in that case, Sister Kelly, that is a fantastic question. So how do I answer that now? Let me see if can find a policy with an irrevocable beneficiary designation is exempted from execution of judgment and seizure by creditors. Okay. So insurance defines beneficiary as a person other than insured. Okay. Or he or estate does not qualify as a beneficiary under. Okay, there's nothing like that. I've not really. Okay, meeting the requirements of statutory to define blah, 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 blah. Loss of protection. Okay. Sister Kenny, I don't know. But I'll find
Mm,
out and let you know, okay?
yeah,
All right?
I guess in that case, if the policyholder is still alive, he simply changes his beneficiary.
Yeah. But is it going to be that easy though? I don't know. Yeah, you still have. Oh no. If the beneficiary dies. Yeah, let me know. I don't want to say anything from my head. Diamond. Oh yeah, shut down that computer. You finish your studies, shut it down and go clean up. Oh yeah, and close the laptop. Okay, I've talked about contingent beneficiaries, right? So beneficiaries that kicks in upon the death of the main beneficiary. Okay, but if the person have contingent beneficiary, yeah, that's another thing. If the person named a contingent beneficiary, so if anything happened to the beneficiary, Sister Kenny, then the contingent beneficiary will kick in. Okay.
Okay.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Can you go with him, please? Come on, go with Kendrick, go with Didi. Okay. All right. So we move on to loss of protection. Mm, okay, no, I've done this one. Okay. Group insurance policies. Uh-uh. No. Application for insurance and presentation of risk. Yes. This one, I'm going to go through it slowly. Members of scope of coverage, a group insurance policy, plan sponsor. Okay, I've not done this one. Contingent beneficiaries, we've talked about that one. Okay, group insurance policy. A group insurance policy insures the lives or health of a group individuals. Okay. This is what we get in the office. Okay, group insurance, like we have, like we get health and dental. There is also life insurance policy at work. Okay, so that's what we call group insurance policy. Now, uh the group insurance is restricted to the employees of that company or members of the group, such as union or associations. Okay. For you to be part of this, to take part in this policy, you have to be a member of the group. All right. They oftentimes the plan sponsor of the group is usually the employer. Okay. And the employer is the policy holder, the policy owner. The employer or the company is the policy owner. For instance, XYZ company have a group life insurance for its members. Okay, the members are called plan members, and then the XYZ company is the policy owner. Okay, we've talked about insurer is the life insurance company, and members and scope of coverage to or to other insured person. Okay, the group life insured refers to as a person whose life is insured. Okay, so now, like we talked about terminologies earlier, okay, life insured, beneficiary, or whatever, the person that is insured, that is part of that group that is insured, is referred to as the group life insured. I'm going to go through this very slowly because I know that this section question comes from these sections a lot. Okay, group plans defines who is eligible for coverage, which is typically just by being a member of the group. Okay, so the definition of who can be covered is basically by being member of the group or by being an employee of the company. Membership, is an employee group. In an employee group plan is mandatory so that the insurer can count on a relatively constant numbers of lives. Okay, In other words, the company cannot just bring random people and then put them under the insurance plan. No, those individuals have to be members of the group, that is to be employees or stuff like that. Okay, the group life insured may designate a beneficiary. That is, even though the company is the owner of the policy, one thing that the company cannot do is to name the beneficiary. So this one, you're going to see this question for sure. They're going to ask you, okay, what can't a group plan owner do, or blah blah blah? They cannot name a beneficiary. Okay, you as a member of the group life insured, you are the one that will name your own beneficiary. Okay, formation of policy in common law. Okay, yes, this one question comes out of here, and sometimes it can be very confusing because they are going to throw dates all over the place for you here, so you pay attention and listen carefully. In common law, for a contract to be formed, there must be an agreement as to what is being contracted, the terms of contract, and exchange of value, including making an insurance policy binding. All right. Now, the rules about forming an individual insurance contract. The process of forming any contract is often described as having two-step called because if you recollect in our certifications, there are questions around, okay, um and a life application is applied on this date. The insurance company receives the application on this date. Then the insurance underwriting process was completed on this date, and then first premium was taken on this date. Then the insurance agent deliver policy on this date, and then this date, and then I ask you what date was the offer, or what day was the this thing accepted. So that's why I'm not going to give summary of this one. This one I'm going to read it so that we all can uh, get it right when we happen to see the question in an exam. Like every other contract in insurance, there has to be offer and acceptance. And what this is trying to test every time we get this question is to try to establish at what point was an offer made, and at what point was an acceptance made by and at what point is the agreement finalized or a coverage established, right? Okay, so here with an insurance contract, the concept of, should I read for my notes? Maybe that one is clearer for me. Mm, okay, yes, I'll read from here. It's clearer for me here because of the lightings. Okay, with an insurance contract, the concept of offer and acceptance is unique. An insurance agent presenting a principle of contracting. Rather, in practice, the completion of an insurance application by an individual is generally considered an offer where the individual becomes the offeror. Hmm. So when we complete insurance application, right? Because this is where what this is saying here. You know what? I might be needing my glasses. Reading this tiny stuff is straining my eyes. Let me get my glasses. It's the, the headset is mm, okay. In practice, the completion of an insurance application by an individual generally is considered as an offer where the individual becomes the offeror. Okay. Then in practice, the offer is generally accepted when the insurance carrier issued the contract and the contract is delivered to the applicant. However, under the law of Canadian common law jurisdiction, it is the insurer's tender of the policy which constitutes the offer, and the acceptance takes place only when the applicant decide to take or receive the policy. Okay, I'm going to pause right there. Typically when we hear offer acceptance, it would have been like, okay, when we complete insurance applications, that's an offer. And then when insurance company, agrees to provide coverage and deliver the policy, that would have been, the acceptance. But under the common law and insurance law, it doesn't work that way. Okay, the completion of application, you see, and this thing does not constitute the offer. The offer is when the insurance company issue the policy. That is the offer. And the acceptance is when the insured accept the policy. You see, under the common law of Canadian, under the law of Canadian common law jurisdictions, it is the insurance tender of the policy which constitute offer, and the acceptance takes place only when the applicant decide to take and receive the policy. Tender of the delivery by the insurer, it is it offer and indicates it will insured, okay, which consummates only when the insured accepts the policy on delivery. So the insurer and the applicant have clearly effected the contract, and that is the point of view where it may be said that the contract is made. So very, very straightforward is that the offer is made when the policy is delivered, not when application is made. So when application is made, is submitted, underwriting is done, all that is not the offer, no acceptance yet. But when it is approved and the policy is delivered, before now, we, the advisors, are the ones that typically deliver the policy to the policy owners. But because of COVID now, the insurance company makes it directly to the owners. So upon receiving of that policy in their mail, that is the insurance company giving them offer. Now, when they now take that policy, they read through it, they are okay with everything, and they sign and send it back, it means they have accepted the offer. Period. Okay, so when they are giving you date, throwing date, okay, when is offer made, just know that the offer is made when the insurance company issued the policy. Okay, when the advisor or the agent delivered the policy, that's when offer is made. And acceptance when the insured or policy owner accepts it. Okay. um in comparison with ordinary contracts, life insurance policies have several addition. Sorry. Okay, life insurance have additional requirements before they are considered to be valid and effect. Okay, these requirements are application for life insurance and representation of risk, and temporary or conditional insurance coverage, changes of insurability, acceptance of application by insurer, and payment of initial premium, and delivery of a policy. All these are the things that happen leading to the delivery of the policy. Okay. Now, application on blah blah blah. We've talked about that one. Temporary insurance. Temporary insurance is the situation whereby somebody is in good health. There are some questions that we have in application booklet, whereby if somebody indicates that they don't have any condition and they answer no, no, no to all those questions, and they also authorize the insurance company to take their premium immediately, then those individuals will have coverage immediately, and that is referred to as temporary insurance coverage, depending on where their full insurance coverage is approved. Okay. Let me keep my phone standby because I'm expecting. Okay. Okay, okay. We have example here. Provided by the insurer, delivery of policy. I've
Can I
talked
quickly
about
ask a
that.
question, please?
Yes,
So
please.
what exactly does an agent, life insurance agent does?
Oh, life insurance agents.
Mm.
So life insurance agent is the one that is representing the client with the insurance company. The life insurance agent is the one that helps, the individual to complete the application process. The life insurance agents, first of all, ensure and determine, the insurance needs of the client, and also determine the risk tolerance of the client, especially if the client is setting up a universal life that have investment component to it. And also, the life insurance agent is the one that is responsible to facilitate in case of any claims, by the client with the insurance company. Okay.
So that's part of the job to facilitate claims.
Yeah, to facilitate claims, like for example, if you have a client and you learned that that client passes away, so you're going to guide the beneficiary of that client on how to apply for the benefit, the death benefits line.
Okay.
Okay, so move on to terms and termination of policy. Okay, the terms and termination of policy. An insurance policy may be cancelled at any time by the policy owner under any specific circumstances, and it may be cancelled by the insurer as well. So it's both ways. An individual can cancel their policy, an insurance company can also cancel their policy. All right. Now, you want this one? Okay, wait, when I finish, I'll put it in your ear, okay? Okay, okay. Okay, go meet daddy. Go meet daddy. When I'm done, I'll come. And I'll come and hold you to sleep. Okay. Thank you.
When are we finishing this? When are we finishing this session? It looks like it's just me and you here.
Oh, the
Every
rest
other
have
person
gone.
is gone. Mm.
You see, I need to finish this
Hmm.
because if we don't finish this, like tomorrow, we've done a flashcards, right? So tomorrow we need to do, today's 7, tomorrow is 8. So we need to do chapter by chapter quizzes, and we need to do math hubs as well. If you are tired, you can go to sleep. When I'm done, I'll upload it for you guys to listen to. But you guys don't have time again. You understand?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm pushing myself to explain things and ensure that you can see, like, if you listen to this to the end, by the time we are answering the doing the practice chapter by chapter practice question tomorrow, the answer will be jumping up. Like me, last night I only have less than 3 hours of sleep and I've not slept yet, but I want you guys to pass this. You
Mm.
understand? That's why I don't understand why some people are not here, but I can do what I can do, right? At the end of the day, everybody here is an adult. Right? But I like to justify my conscience because I promise you guys I want to support you. So I want to deliver on my own words.
Yeah.
See, my son is here. He needs
I
me to
have a
sleep, but
question, but
I have to.
what, since you are recording, is not something I want to ask over the.
Yeah, I'm recording. Then we can take that offline.
Okay.
Mm. 1 second, please. Let me call it. Okay, so terms and termination of policy, we've talked about that. And also there's a 10-day look. This is a guaranteed question. It will come in an exam because when an insurance agent deliver policy to the client have 10 days to look and change their mind. Can you hear me look after Kendrick, please? Charge the iPad or plug it for him. Okay, so the client have 10 days to look. All right. And then moving on, there's what we call surrender. And individual insurance contracts are unilateral. So the policyholder can surrender a policy for any reason at any time. So the termination of the policy results in the policy and beneficiary surrendering all their rights under the policy. Okay. If it's policy that have cash surrender value, any cash surrender value associated with the policy will be paid out to the policyholder according to the terms of the policy. All right. So for instance, for policies that are permanent, like UL or whole life, those ones do accumulate cash value, right? So when the owner of those policies decided to terminate their policies, so the cash value will be paid out to the policy owner based on the terms, of the policy. Okay. Now, termination based on expirations, right? An insurance policy or portion of it may simply terminate or expire as per term insurance. Yes, that's the thing with term insurance. If you take term for 10 years, after 10 years, your policy will terminate, it will expire, right? Under what circumstances can an insurance company terminate a policy? So we've talked about where an individuals, can surrender their policies, right? How about the insurance company? Do they have right to say, I don't do again? Let's see. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, in certain circumstances, insurance policies insurance policies can also be cancelled by the insurance companies. And the termination concealment. If an insurance company found out that this client, hid information upon when they were applying for the life insurance, the insurance company have the right to terminate their policy. Termination of non-payment of premium. Okay. So yes, it can be terminated based on when premiums are not paid. Okay. And also, um, what's going on here? And termination for not payment of premium, termination for not payment of accident insurance premium. All those are premiums. Okay. What next? Termination in the event of fraud, misrepresentation, or intentional concealment. All that is here. Misrepresentation. Okay, within the first 2 years. Now, for insurance policy, the first 2 years is referred to as contestability period. Okay, so if a misrepresentation other than age was discovered during the first 2 years of the policy could be cancelled or voided by the insurance company. This first 2 years period is known as the statutory incontestability period. After the 2 years incontestability period, the insurance company can no longer cancel the policy. Okay, so now there's contest 2 years. Within 2 years, if the insurance company find out that there is a concealment of information, there's misrepresentation, they can cancel at any time. Incontestability period means that when the insurance company cancel those policies, you as a policy owner cannot contest their decision. That's why it's referred to as incontestability. That is, you cannot contest, you cannot challenge the insurance company. So that's why the first 2 years incontestability period. So when that incontestability period is over, so insurance company cannot do anything again after 2 years. Okay. That's
Hello,
after
Susan.
two
Please,
years. All
please
right.
come again on
Yes.
that. I saw that question yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it came out in contestability. I'd never seen it. You said it is a 2-year period where you cannot contest whatever the insurance company
Okay.
does
It's a
with your
2 year
policy.
period. No, 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 not whatever the insurance company does. Okay. If the insurance company in the first 2 years, Diamond, can you both leave this room, please? And what are you still doing on the laptop? I'm not doing on the laptop. Okay, leave the laptop alone. Can you with Kendrick upstairs, please? He doesn't want to go. I told you to plug the device for him. What happened to that? You need to connect it for him outside this place. Okay, take him with this laptop to the dining table. So what I was saying is that if in the first 2 years, go with her, go with. Okay. Okay. Go. Okay, so if insurance company, let's say you set up in the first 2 years of, getting your life insurance, and the insurance company find out that you lied, you lied about some information in your application, you were not upfront, you were not telling the truth on certain things. So the insurance company in the first 2 years have the right to cancel that policy, and you don't have the right to contest that decision. You lost the right to contest that decision because you misrepresented the information you provided to them. Make sense? That's why that first
Yeah.
2 years is called incontestability period. Is it clear
Okay.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is if you lie, if you misrepresent, if you provide
So
inaccurate
it's only
information.
case of
Yeah,
misrepresentation of
of course,
information.
of course, of course,
Okay.
of course. So now what
Okay.
happened after 2 years? After 2 years, once the policy has been enforced for 2 years, the incontestability period, the insurer can only cancel the policy based on fraudulent misrepresentation or fraudulent concealment. Otherwise, they cannot do anything again. Okay. Um, yeah, of course, at any time there will be the insurance company can terminate policy if there's no payment of premium. Okay, for non-payment of
Mhm.
premium.
At any time they can
Um,
cancel if there's no. So what is
yeah,
known
if
as
you are not paying,
uh, uh yeah, if you're not
okay,
paying, they can
what? Go
cancel,
ahead,
right?
please.
Then I wanted to ask, what was is what
Yes, now.
represent fraudulent representation that you just said?
Okay, let me read this example for you. Jacob takes out a new life insurance policy in September. In answering the questions about tobacco usage, Jacob denies ever using any form of tobacco. He forgot that he smoked a cigar at the charitable golf tournament he participated in last month. A picture in the local newspaper showed him with a cigar in his hand, celebrating with his winning foursome. His agent sees the picture, contacted Jacob, and and explain the risk he may be running into by not clarifying his mistake mistaken answers with the insurer. Jacob elects to complete a tobacco usage questionnaire, confirming his single usage of a cigar, and has his agent bring his mistake to the attention of the insurance company. The insurance company decided to take no action. The 2-year incontestability period ends, and Jacob is now protected against the insurance company changing its mind about the inadvertent misrepresentation. Is it clear now? So this one talks about the concept. So now, in terms of fraudulent one, look at this. After 2 years, Annie dies of bowel cancer 3 years after buying a policy. A thorough review of his medical history in response to the claim of the death benefit reveals that Annie had a previous round of bowel surgery for cancer 4 months before he applied for the insurance. But he stated on the application that he had never had any indication of or treatment for cancer. Annie committed insurance fraud, deliberate misrepresentation, and concealment. The insurance company refuses to pay the death benefit. You see, this one is deliberate.
Hmm.
She knew
Please,
she's
see,
been
it's
treated.
things like this that make people hate insurance companies. It's things like
Look,
this that make people fight with insurance companies.
and it's things like this that we the agent, you cannot do, you don't live in people's houses, so you don't know what they are going to. Why won't people say the truth? The fact that you have gotten treatment for cancer doesn't mean that you won't get insurance. They might rate you, your premium may be slightly
That's the
higher,
thing now. It
but
will be
at
higher.
least
They
come
don't want to
clean.
pay high. They don't want to pay high premium there.
And they don't get life insurance now. Don't get it. Everybody must not get it. But if you want to get it, say it as it is. If you don't get it, no problem. Then you start saving your money. There are different options that that you can do. There are some insurance that will not mind, like CPP. CPP will not decline anybody. Their premium is slightly higher, but no matter your condition, CPP will give you
Which one is
life
PPP?
insurance. So Canada pension plan.
Okay.
You understand?
Mm.
So people need to say the truth. These are the things we need to educate people. Like me, when I'm doing, I don't jump all those questions. I make sure I ask it one by one. Okay. So after 2 years, why?
That's joy.
Ah,
Oh my God. Now why? It is
yeah.
well. So when is now time to pay and the person and the fraud is discovered, the agent, what's now the rule of the agent? The agents will now put it forward that the client will
Agent,
be
what did the agent go do now? No, because some of these things the agent may not even know, right? Like this one now that have been taking treatment for cancer, she may not even disclose because she knows that if she tells the agent will make a note. Her
mm.
insurance company will see it. So they won't even tell you.
But
What
the
you
person
don't know now.
but
I
the
cannot
person
take
has been paying,
responsibility.
but at least the person has been paying premium. Why will you now not pay anything? At least you say, okay, we will pay quarter or pay some, but not in full if they
That,
discover that so not that you will not pay anything.
that's why this is a contract. It's not
Ha,
sentiment. I beg, let's
yes,
move
yes, yes.
forward. I beg. It's
Ah,
not sentimental.
because
Uh-huh.
you know
No,
the insurance company, it is well. All right.
I hear you. Okay, so yes, we've talked about that tabulation for not payment of premium. Of course, if you don't pay your premium, there's no free lunch anyway. Insurance company are business companies. They are there to make money for the shareholders. So, assignment of policy. We're making progress. matter still do. But don't worry, we get this. Okay. Assignment of policy. Okay, a policyholder has the right to assign policy or transfer policy. So, yes, when you are the owner of your policy, you can assign your policy or transfer your policy to another person. Okay. Um, there are two types of assignment. There's absolute assignment or collateral assignment. Absolute assignment is where means the transfer of ownership of an insurance policy, and a change of ownership is a disposition for tax purposes. Okay, when you do absolute assignment, it means that the new owner have the right to change the beneficiaries. Okay, and in the eye of the law, this is referred to as disposition. Okay. uh, so this person that this policy have been assigned to have the right to withdraw money from the policy in case the policy have a cash value, and also have the right to designate a new beneficiary. Well, collateral assignment is a situation whereby you assign your policy to a third party. See, collateral assignment refers to the fact that some insurance policies, you see, especially for those with cash value, can be used as a collateral, to obtain a loan. For instance, I can come to you, Sister Kenny, that I need a loan, and I can, maybe my universal life policy have 100,000 cash value in it. So I can give you my policy as a collateral for you to borrow me the 100,000, because my policy have a balance of 100,000 or more. Okay. Wow. However, if the life insured dies before the loan is fully paid, the lender is entitled to only a portion, okay, of the debt benefit. Okay, that makes sense. What this is saying is that if you borrow me 100,000 and something happens to me while you are in possession of my policy, let's say my policy debt benefit is 1 million. If anything happens to me before I finish paying you, you are not going to say, oh, I have an assignment to this. No, you will only be entitled to a portion of what I'm owing you, and the rest will go to my beneficiary. Okay. Product specific policy provision, individual life insurance. Okay, yes. So this one is another area we are going to move into now. We're talking about product specific policy provision. So we'll be looking at individual life insurance, group life insurance, individual and group accident and sickness, annuities, segregated funds, and pension products. Okay, we're going to move through this really quick. Individual life insurance uh, is basic provision that provide coverages within the policy, and it names the insured beneficiaries, and then there's a grace period, the amount of frequency of premium. Premiums can be paid monthly, could be paid annually. Okay. Reductions. Some policies contains provision to reduce coverage over time based on, the affordability or plans of what the policy owner intends to pay. Exclusion. Some policy contains provisions that reduces the coverage over. Okay, no, this is reduction. Okay, for exclusion, an exclusion is a specific provision where if death caused by, some exclusions in the insurance policy, then the insurance policy does not pay any death benefit. Sister Kenny, let me tell you this one now. So there are some policies that will be set up with exclusion. For instance, insurance companies generally have exclusion on suicide. There's suicide exclusion. Um, and that states that if somebody, set up a life insurance and they committed suicide within the first 2 years, the insurance company will not pay. But if they committed suicide, in the third year or after 2 years, then the insurance company will pay. All right. Now, another way we can also see exclusion in insurance policy is, for instance, if somebody participates in a dangerous sport, maybe skydiving or stuff like that, there could be an exclusion. That person's policy may be rated standard, but with an exclusion that anything happened to him, if he dies as a result of skydiving, the policy will not pay. So that's an exclusion. Okay. Mm, Another one is existing condition exclusion. For instance, somebody have cancer, an insurance person may say, okay, we already know you have cancer, but that doesn't mean we cannot give you policy. We can give you policy and rated you standard. It means you pay what normal people pay. But if anything happens to you, if you die as a result of cancer, you will not be paid. So again, it's up to the person to take their risk or chances, right? So that is this thing. I've talked about suicide clause, living benefits. Some insurance policy allows a portion of their death benefit to be paid, to the policyholder in advance. Okay, yeah. So living benefit, and this one can also be seen as extreme disability benefit, in a sense that some insurance companies allow some portions of the death benefit to be paid to the policy owner while they are still alive, to take care of themselves, their medical needs or whatever, and that is paid to them tax free. Okay. All right, we have cash surrender value. A certain types of permanent insurance like whole life, universal life, enables policy owners to grow as money in their plan that they can take out at a future date towards doing anything they want to do. Okay. Uh, the cash can be accumulated on either a guaranteed basis or on a non-guaranteed basis, such as determined by the performance. So when the cash growth is on a guaranteed basis, that is whole life, that tells you, okay, you get a guaranteed return. But typically with UL, there's no guaranteed return. Okay. Distinction between collateral loan and insurance loan. Okay, yes, this is a good one to know because it could come up. And I'm going to read this, okay? Other than the limit imposed by the institution making the loan, there is no other limit on the size of the loan when insurance policy, you use the insurance policy as a collateral, okay? So what is the difference between policy loan and collateral loan? Okay, so let me just even explain this. Collateral loan is when you take your policy, you give it as a collateral to somebody. It could be a bank, and the bank or the lender gives you money. For example, like I said before, if your cash value is 100,000, you need 100,000, I can give my policy to the bank or to a lender, and the lender will give me 100,000. So that's
What if
collateral
what if you don't
loan.
have cash
It means that
surrender
I
value?
have you.
What if you don't
If you
have
don't
cash
have cash value, then you can't use that policy as a.
as collateral?
If you don't have cash value, for example, you can't use term insurance as a collateral
Mm-hmm.
for policy loan. Yeah. So that is a collateral loan. But policy loan is that I don't need to give any to use my policy as a collateral. I just take a policy loan against my policy. Usually it's the insurance company that gives the policy loan. It's just in-house paperwork, and I pay interest rate on that policy. Okay, so let's read what we have here. Okay, other than the limit, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that the limit size, a policy, they uses an insurance policy as a, this thing is blocking okay, as a collateral for a loan, and the amount of the loan will usually be a percentage of the cash surrender value. Unlike collateral loan, An insurance policy loan has limits because of the way life insurance policy transactions are taxed.
Like, are we
Yes,
doing
so
equity
if you are using
or life insurance
your
together?
policy as a collateral,
It's sounding like life insurance.
this is ethics. You see, yes, it's because ethics is all over the place. You know, it's ethics of our profession, right? So the thing is, you see some things here they'll repeat in life insurance. Okay, so that is policy loan and differences between policy loan and collateral. Okay, riders of poly riders and amendment. So riders are additional features or benefit added to the policy. So it allows one to have, benefit or coverages. I usually use pizza as an example for rider. You see, your pizza is your base policy. It could be term insurance, because you can add riders to term insurance as well, right? It could be whole life, it could be universal life. But you can now add rider. You can have a rider or return on premium on your critical illness. You can have term insurance rider on your permanent insurance. Rider is just toppings. You understand? So it allows you to customize your insurance product to suit your unique needs. Okay. Okay, so we move on to group life and health insurance. Where is that one? Group life and health insurance. It looks like I have moved so fast. So. Right. Okay. Yeah. So I'm here now. Okay. Group life and health insurance. Distinction between collateral. Okay. So yeah, group life and health insurance. In a group insurance arrangement, a single insurance policy called a master policy covers the plan for everybody. I think we've really talked about this in the previous sections, right? Group life insurance, health insurance is insurance for the group, done by the employee for the group. And then the company is the plan sponsor, okay? The entity that enters into the insurance contract with the insurance company is the plan sponsor. For example, if you work for XYZ company, the XYZ company enter into the contract with the insurance company. So the XYZ is the plan sponsor. Okay, the plan sponsor is also known as the group policy holder, and at the same time, the company is a group policy holder as well. The plan sponsor is also decide which benefits, features will be included. And that's why they decide, okay, you're on this level. There's a way they calculate how much your coverage will be depending on when you join your level, because those in managerial position, their life insurance coverage is different from, the lower level managers or stuff like that. So that's why the plan sponsor determines that. Okay. Mm, Determination of the plan membership. The group must be clearly defined. Okay. Some group is like some association, like for instance, I'm a member of a PMI, that's Project Management Institute. And from time to time, they send me a letter, some of the the companies that they have group life insurance with, if I want to be part of it. But because I already have my personal one, I didn't need that. And as a result, I didn't respond to that, because they have their own terms that when I come in, I have to read what those terms are and be sure that it's okay with me. Again, those are like members of um, um, like PMI is a professional body, right? So the same way with the employers. So some employers have their own guidelines and all that stuff. Okay, types of group insurance. You can have life group insurance, accident and death group insurance, short-term disability group insurance, critical illness group insurance, and health and dental care. So the most common ones among the group insurance is the health and dental. Almost every organizations have that. set up for their clients. Okay. Um. Now, yes, this one I want to also really go through it. Okay. Coverage under this kind of plan usually is defined annual dollar limit, and then the plan sponsor can adjust the coverage to suit their budget. You know, the employer, for instance, if the employer notice that, oh, business is not as usual, or before we have, total coverage for everybody is this amount, and they notice that business is not booming like before, then they can decide to, drop some of the coverage to reduce their cost, their overhead on paying premium for those things. So again, the power to decide all these things is not with the employee who are the group life insured, right? The employer have the power to do all this. However, the group life insured is the only one that can name his or her own beneficiary. Okay. Many employers offer the employees a dollar budget to allocate to their own choice of coverage called flexible benefit. You see, some employers say, you know what, I don't want to deal with this for my employees. You just give them a dollar coverage. Hey, you are entitled to $20 off for $50. You go find whatever cover you for that amount, and it's up to you however you do it, right? So some employers, take that route. And there's also what we call administrative service only. This one, you're going to see a questions around this a lot, so I want us to pay attention here, right? Administrative service only refers to a plan structure where the employer itself funds the benefit for employees, right? So this administrative service only is a situation whereby um, this typically happens with big organizations, right? The big organizations say, okay, instead of handing over all our plan members to the insurance company, in-house we will have team that manages everything, but we just need the expertise of the insurance company. So the administrative um okay, in the case of plan sponsor often hire an insurance to process, and adjudicate administrative claims and payment. However, the employer, not the insurer, funds the benefit payable. So for this one, for administrative only, what this stands for is that the company, the owner of this policy now, only hire the insurance company to do admin work. Do the admin work by the only thing the insurance company does is processing the claim, but the payment of the claim will come from the company. It's not coming for the insurance company. So what this means is that um the insurance company will get paid for their admin services rendered, and that's it. Okay, so that's why this is administrative uh, service only. And this administrative service only is an option that a company might opt to use when they want to minimize their cost, because if they allow insurance company to do everything, to do the take care of the indemnity and all that, it will cost them more. So they might use this administrative service only just to save money as well. Okay. Booklets and books. In group insurance structure, the individual members of the group have no contract directly with the insurance company. Yes. So in that case, the insurance company certificate is to the group. Okay. However, there's a booklet. No, so there's a master policy. Like individual now, when we set up our policy is sent to us, right? So in a group plan, there's a master policy that is sent to the owner of the policy, which is the company. However, the booklets are sent to individual plan members. Okay. Mm, Moving on, laws applicable to residents, terms and termination. Almost all group insurance policies are annually renewed, and insurance policies group members qualify for coverage throughout the period. Okay. Individuals and group accident and sickness. So the one we just did now is individual life insurance. So now we are moving on to individual accidental sickness. Okay, let me get to. Ooh, I think um, I'm going to stop here tonight. Okay, Mr. Kenny.
Yeah,
Mr. Kenny.
yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Um,
I have to go. I have to go put my boy to bed.
yeah,
But I'll try and complete the recording maybe tomorrow morning and send out to everybody. Okay.
okay,
All right.
okay.
Yeah, that
Thank
way
you.
you guys can take your time to listen to it ahead of our class tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much for your time
Thank you. Yeah,
and have a good night.
you too.